Hey, everybody, welcome back to Six Drugs and Opera. This is Jared Ice here with
Michael Pegger, back from the long pause.
Here to rock your world. Yeah,
Why the long pause? What's that joke? How's that joke go with the bear in the bar?
The whole joke, or do you just want the punchline?
Yeah, get the whole joke. Do it. I don't want to just give the punchline. Well, now they know the punchline.
No, they don't yet because you didn't get it. A polar bear walks into a bar and says, I'll have a gin and tonic. Bartender says, why the big pause? He says, I'm a polar bear.
Oh, Sabueya.
I think I've told that. I think I said it before, but that joke is when I first learned that every joke I know can only be told in English. Because I told that joke in German. It's because like Pause.
Fulton.
Yeah, you're like, warum die lange Pause? And it's like, ich bin ein Eisbär. It's like, everyone looked at me like, what? It's like, like a pause, and then Pause don't rhyme in German.
No.
I realize that I'm a fucking dick. All right, this is your podcast for July 11th, 2020. I hope you're well. I hope you're happy. We back. We back to do it.
We back, baby. It was a nice long pause we took there, but it's time to get back on the horse.
Yeah, it might be a bit rusty trombone today, but we're just going to get back up on the horse and ride, if you know what I'm saying. So,
lot going on, people. In America, it's still all quarantine-y, and, here, though, shit's starting to open back up.
Well, shit's been basically back to normal. I mean, the corona cases are way down, especially where Mike and I live. There's like a couple a day. So as long as you wear a mask, and if you go to the supermarkets and stuff, and you go everywhere, people are just masking up, so it's no problem.
Dude,
so,
my wife insisted yesterday that we keep up with the. Keep up. I say keep up, but I did no quarantine, like no special quarantine workout thing, right? But she was doing it.
You guys got that garden, yeah?
Yeah, we got the garden, and she brought me out, and she's like, "You're doing it with me today." The quarantine routine. I'm like, fuck it, that's fine. Whatever. I can do it. And it was all planks and all this and all that, and I feel like a floppy dick today.
Yeah.
I am nothing. I am nothing, could do nothing today. It got me. It got me hard.
You guys might hear some noise. I got to change my mic. I forgot. We're a bit out of practice here. I forgot I have to be facing Mike for this microphone to block out his shouty voice.
That's right, my shouty-ass Pegger voice.
All right, so, okay, sorry if that made a little bit of noise. Yeah, man, planks, dude. Planks suck. All that ab shit, you got to be doing it every other day, or there's a fucking waste.
Or yeah. You know? Otherwise, I just basically
hurt yourself
this
for no
day.
reason.
Yeah, I made this day miserable for no
week.
reason. I didn't get any gains, no fucking sick gains.
No. Yeah, if you go out and you're just like fucking like ripping up your body bench pressing twice a week, you might get something to show for it, but abs, it's a lifestyle, man.
I guess I could try. I could try to make that who I am.
No, you are who you are, man.
You are who you are.
Speaking of which, I might as well plug it now. That's a nice little segue. The secret sponsor podcast for today. I don't know if it's too early to plug it, but I've already started. Mike and I are going to talk about something we actually talked about, I think, back in season 1, which was the idea of being an opera singer.
Yeah.
And I just think after a couple more years of doing this, it might be interesting to revisit that topic.
Definitely.
And so in our secret sponsor section today, we're going to be talking about the idea of being an opera singer. So that's just kind of like
idea versus reality.
Idea versus reality, but also for me, that's more of like, people think that people think that they're being an artist, but what you're doing is you're being some sort of like copy of what you think people want from you. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So Mike, I'm going to be jamming on that. But for this podcast, which is more relevant to you, we're going to be emptying out our inbox as we do sometimes. We're backed up. There's no way we'll get to all of it today, but we'll hit like 4 or 5 of them.
Nice.
And just see what up. You want to just dive in here?
Let's dive in. It's going to be a long day of tips, which if you put enough tips together, you've got the full shaft.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I need like a shaft theme.
You do need a shaft theme.
We can hear that.
I'm sorry, dude.
Here we go.
Yes, the tip love. Dude, that is kind of, it's not shaft. It's like Shaft After Hours.
Yeah.
But if you got the whack-a-whack-a-whack-a-whack shaft.
Yeah,
then
I mean, fiction is a bit shafty, I guess.
that's definitely what we should call just the tip days where we do all of them, we call it full shaft.
Full shaft.
Full shaft.
Full shaft. Okay, so
You need a coffee or something, dude? Why the long pause?
I'm slow today. I got a coffee and an energy drink open
Jared
here.
does the most fucking disgusting thing you can imagine. So I picked him up at like 9:15 today, and he walks out with an open can of like Monster energy drink or something like that.
Yeah.
He drinks that instead of coffee or something like that. Like
I drink it.
Fucking animal.
I pair it with coffee.
Ah!
Look what I'm doing right now, man. There's a cup of coffee here and a Monster energy
Oh my
drink.
God! I can't even think. Energy drinks are exclusively for like people who want to get fucked up at a club and are having some kind of disgusting drink that has energy drink mixed in. That's the only place in my mind where I can possibly fit something like that in. And even then, I personally am rejecting that shit all day, every day.
Yeah, the amount of criticism I receive for like, look, I just care about results. Like if I'm gonna drink alcohol, I want to get drunk. If I'm gonna drink something to wake me up, I want to be fucking awake. And if I want to eat something, then I want it to be filling. This is why I'm eating like chicken breasts, Monster energy drinks, and whiskey. Is like most of my life.
Why don't you soak the energy drink in a tampon and put it in your ass? Then it'll go right to your head. Then,
dude. I mean, okay,
through your ass to head.
Look, there's Monster energy drinks, and then there's the whole world of pre-workout, which I don't know if you even know about that, but it's like next level. Well, it's just this powder, you buy. I'm sure a lot of you know what that is. They call it Booster in Germany. But pre-workouts is powder you buy, and basically it's like energy drinks on crack, and you'd put like 2 or 3 of those in a glass of water, chug it before you go to the gym, and then you're just fucking amped, right? And they all got names like Black Blood, The Beast, The Animal, you know what I mean?
Black Blood sounds like the sword name in a Game of Thrones house.
Black Blood was good shit, dude, but it's like $80-$90 for one of these things, but it lasts forever, and it gets you amped the fuck up. And then beyond that, you need to start dipping into like, I guess, cocaine or something like that. Really, I mean, it gets to like, because my big thing on life in this podcast has been there's like almost no boundaries between anything. You know what I mean? Like, except like physical things. But energy drinks like don't just suddenly become drugs. The line's not cocaine, but those pre-workout things, that's the gray area. That's the pivot point where you're moving from like a nice coffee in the morning to energy drinks to fucking pre-workout to cocaine.
That dude,
it's not a boundary, man. It's like you kind of bleed into the drug world.
Yeah, it's a gateway drug. Your Monster Energy is a fucking gateway drug.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the tip of the iceberg. But come on, that is
coffee's
part
already.
of the iceberg.
I mean, do you know how many people I've met lately? There's something about like you get into your 30s and you meet people and they're like, I don't drink coffee. I just have like a black tea in the morning and it's good enough. And it's like maybe
tea is fucking intense, dude. That has a lot of caffeine.
Does it? I mean, maybe if I stopped for like a year, maybe like because like during quarantine we talked about it. I really didn't drink at all, not really. And then Mike and I went out to the bar the other day, and man, a couple beers, and I was fucking sauced.
Yeah, you were not. I've been keeping up my game.
I haven't, dude. I drink maybe these days like once a month or something like that.
What? You mean during the day? What, you don't have a case of beer at home that you just gradually work through?
I don't know. I maybe I have like a beer once or twice, but like I like having like quite a few drinks or something like that.
I easily drink a liter of beer a day.
That's good.
I'm not sure if it is, but I do it.
It's better than the energy drinks.
Well, look, here's the deal with energy drinks. I have nothing against them, just like smoking or whatever. If you want to smoke, go ahead. It's your fucking body. What should I have to say about your smoking? What should I, Michael Pegger, have to say about your energy drinks? Really, nothing. It concerns me very little. All that I know is that when people smoke, I think to myself, how can you live with it? How can you live with the constant taste? Because I've smoked. Right?
Yeah.
And you got this taste in your mouth.
Yeah, but let me tell you, someone goes on and off of smoking is when you don't smoke and you smoke, it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
The smell, the flavor, it's fucking gross. It's straight up like if you like lick ash. But if you keep doing it for like 3 or 4 or 5 days, then it suddenly starts to take on a different flavor and it becomes very tasty and delicious.
Yeah, but maybe that's because all of your taste buds are dying en masse.
I think yes, but also it's an acquired taste. Like when quarantine first happened, I was so busy doing shit that I was just off coffee and I was just drinking like Red Bull and the hardest shit I could find. So I could stay awake 18 hours a day and work every hour, you know? And then when I went back to coffee, I know I have an energy drink today, but actually, like at the moment, I don't drink that many energy drinks. And when I went back to coffee, it was fucking disgusting.
Yeah,
and I used to drink black,
that makes sense.
like Tankstelle, like gas station coffee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like now I'm kind of getting back into it, but I think it's a little bit of an acquired test. And yes, I think you have to kill your smell and your taste buds, cigarettes, to do that. But also I think it's just, yeah, you kind of develop a like for the flavor. And the nicotine is like, that's a chemical thing.
Yeah.
Your body will be like, I like this.
No, I believe you with that.
So those of
that.
you out there trying to get on smoking, just stick with it. You know?
Stick with it, people. It'll be worth it in the end.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll taste amazing.
Yeah.
You'll die from it, but it'll
don't
taste
smoke.
amazing.
Don't ever fucking smoke a cigarette. All right? I mean, do what you want to do, but I didn't tell you to do that. Don't fucking. I'm in Germany. What can you do?
No,
fuck
look,
off.
that's something that you run into as a parent.
Yeah.
Like I tell Jack, don't smoke. But really, what I believe is, if he wants to smoke someday, that's his fucking choice.
Yeah, but when he's 5, you might not want to have that gray.
Have you ever seen the that video of this pudgy little boy from Thailand he's like 5 or 6 years old and he's chain smoking?
Oh yeah, that shit's fucking wild.
Dude, John Oliver had some kind of expose on how like these kiosks in Thailand. I think it's
Convenience
in Thailand.
Stores.
No. Like they're tiny little, really. Oh yeah.
But do they say kiosk in English? I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think convenience store.
It's kind of like a paper stand,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
okay.
the classic paper stand that you see in New York, except it's made out of fucking like palm trees and shit because it's in Thailand.
Yeah.
And they'll set up shop right outside a fucking school. And they have like a lighter there that's chained to the thing so that you can buy individual cigarettes. And the kids will line up after school and just buy, like, they're
That's
like,
so
I got
fucked up.
10 cents. Boom, there's
That's
a cigarette.
so fucked up. Yeah, I mean, like, once you're an adult, I'm team do whatever the fuck you want. But like, but kids smoking, nah, man.
Nah, man.
That's not cool.
But
That's
like,
not cool.
I have, there are people in Jack's life
Yeah.
and Jack's and Jeannie's lives who smoke.
Yeah, and you can't say that
And-
they're bad people because it's
Right.
they're
They
related to them
smoke,
and shit.
so you have to deal with that. They smoke, and those same people tell Jack and Jeannie, don't
smoke. That's complicated.
Right,
yeah.
and I told them, I had a conversation with those people the other day. I'm like, that's a hell of a dichotomy to put in a child's mind.
Yeah, don't do what I'm doing.
Right, don't do it. Like, they see me doing it because
Yeah.
if you're smoking regularly, right? And they see them smoking regularly, and then every time, like, Jack will pick up what every child does in the world, picks up a pretzel stick
And acts like he's smoking.
and then we'll be like, and then I'm thinking, that's too much for a baby's mind.
Yeah, they don't understand that the whole like do as I like that whole thing. I mean, when I was a kid, I remember they had those candy cigarettes.
Oh yeah,
You know, in the pack
the
and
ones
everything.
So do you mean like the candy ones that would like you they were kind of hard and you could chew them, or do you mean that the ones that were gum and they had the powder in them?
Both of them, but they came in like cigarette boxes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They were fucking straight up cigarettes, and the powder ones, you know, you waited. Oh, I loved them though. Right? You had the cigarette.
Yeah.
And you got it. You know there's gum in there, and that's really the only reason to have it, except for that one good puff of whatever fucking shit they put in those things that would look like smoke. It was beautiful. It was like it would come out in a beautiful plume, right?
Yeah.
And I remember waiting for the right moment because you knew you only had so many plumes of smoke, and the first one was the best one. So you got it in your hand. You wait till the adults are around, right? And you waddle up.
Yeah.
You waddle up
As
and you
kids
just
do.
give one of those nice and easy up to your lips. And,
Yeah. Man,
and the adults you're thinking are being like, that kid is fucking cool.
but really they're just like, this little bastard's gonna live a hard life. Man, I never had like those candies. They show you because kids. I feel like with kids, you could probably already see traces of who they're gonna be when they're older, and like patience, you can also see like Charms blow pops. I never had the patience to suck that thing down to the gum. I was biting that thing the first chance I got.
I sucked it all the way down.
Yeah, did you? No, man. I fucking got on it. And that lack of patience with food still exists today as I eat like unsalted chicken breast because I don't have the time to fucking make a nice sauce.
Do you think that's kind of a conspiracy theory thing? Do you think that like the fucking tobacco companies were behind making those candies to make them kind of like training wheels for kids?
I don't know. I don't think in their origin, because I think people are innocent with that type of stuff some of the time, and it's like they'll just be like, oh, mom and dad. Because also, you got to remember, like in the 50s and 60s, I don't know
It's just normal as fuck.
I don't know how bad they thought smoking was.
No, it was,
I think it's actually fairly recent that people found out smoking was bad.
Oh, sure.
So it's kind of like, oh, everybody smokes. Kids, they have a toy car, toy cigarette, toy phone. Like, it was just kind of a part of life.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, even in my life in the 90s, I still remember going to Denny's and just everybody smoking.
Yeah.
And I remember it was so common, it didn't bother me.
Yeah.
Going bowling, like eating pancakes with people smoking next to me. But now, if I was in a room and everybody was smoking, I don't want to eat.
I guess so,
I don't want to eat a stack of pancakes.
I'm still on the side. Look, I don't smoke.
Yeah.
I don't smoke, but
you
when
like
I
the
go to
smell
a bar,
somehow.
Yeah, I do. I like the smell. I like
and I
secondhand
do
smoke.
smoke, not all the time. I'm like on and off kind of party smoker, but I fucking hate the smell when I'm not
Serious?
smoking. Yeah, I don't want to be
get-
anywhere around it
when
unless
people-
I'm doing it.
If someone's got a Marlboro Red lit up around me, I just sit there and I just enjoy myself with that smoke.
For
around
me, it's like jacking off. Like, I don't want to be around other people, but when I'm doing it, it's okay. Like that's cigarettes for me.
God. Oh my god!
That's kind of
That's a great comparison. That's a great comparison. Look, the product floating in the air of you smoking is okay when you are
when I'm doing it.
When you're doing it.
Yeah.
But you don't want somebody else's jizz flying through
No.
the air around you. That's dangerous.
That's what this is.
That is dangerous. But the other one they had was fucking Big League Chew. Remember Big League Chew?
Oh yeah, of course, dude.
Oh my god.
But I guess that used to be that was also fucked up. That was then what baseball players were doing, where they would take chewing tobacco and mix it with gum.
Well,
you know what I mean?
They did?
Yeah, that's like where it came from. Is like you would. I mean, I think they also had like chew, which was something different. Like,
Well,
it was
yeah,
called
of course.
chew.
They had so the way they had this Big League Chew, I don't know if any of you guys remember it, but
It was like string. It was like this gum that came.
yeah,
like,
because
in
my
strings.
father's chewed tobacco like that. It's called mail pouch tobacco, right?
Yeah.
And it's like these long shreds of tobacco, and you
Yeah.
get a fucking wad of it. It's not
Yeah,
the
yeah.
stuff that you put.
No,
it's
no,
not
no.
snuff that you put in your.
In your lip.
In your
yeah,
lip.
Yeah, no, it's this big wad in your cheek. People did that, but also there were people like mixing it with gum, I think.
That's fucking incredible.
I don't know,
dude.
man. We got to get to these fucking emails. All right, so okay. You ready? You ready to go down this ride?
Yeah, let's go.
Subject: the golden age of opera.
Oh no, this again.
This is never gonna go away. Hey guys, this introduction is mandatory. Hey guys, she's talking about.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good.
I know a lot of time has passed by since you talked about this topic, but I'm currently reading a biography of Maria Callas, and it is described that in the opera world, it always used to be better. Even when Maria Callas lived, it was said by Ernest Newman that she was not as good as Rosa Poncel.
Right.
I just want to share this new aspect. Thanks
Yeah.
again for the great podcast. Thank you for writing in. Yeah, it's true. It's just always been like that. And I don't know how far back you can go, but I was doing. I think I told you guys, like in the off time, I was helping somebody with this old English podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even in the year like 5, people were like, "Man, shit in the year 2." That was those were high times, you know.
You know, people don't remember
Yeah.
that the Romans. It's funny because, like, around Rome, there were cities that had, like, city-states that had very unique, cool culture.
Yeah.
Rome didn't.
No.
It basically took everything from other cultures and just said, we're doing this. And, like, Greek culture.
Yeah,
They took, like, fucking everything from the Greeks. And
because it was better back then.
because it was better back then. And that whole thing going back to the Greeks even,
Yeah.
that goes straight up to the origins of opera to bring
yeah.
it back around. Literally what they were saying was,
Yeah.
at the Florentine Camerata, they were saying, in the Enlightenment, the Enlightenment. I was trying to think of the German word for it, the Aufklärung.
Yeah,
The,
but we're speaking English right now. So it's
we're
fine.
speaking English right now, so we're good. They were talking about how they could emulate
Yeah.
the fucking Greeks
Yeah.
and the Greek choruses.
And-
why? Because it was better
It's
back
never
then.
gonna go away. But also, it's like people just have a general fear of the unknown. You know, we could get in this whole thing about like religion and all this stuff and science and like music and opera. But it's like people like to have the human mind likes to have a beginning, middle, and end to something.
Yeah.
And when something has like gone full circle, it's like it's safe. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you understand it fully. And like, you're like, well, like Verity did it. And like, I know what that is and I like it. So I want to do that. But as soon as you start mixing like green screens and microphones and electronics and like film mixed with opera, people are like, I don't know what this is and I don't like it. You know, it's like, it's fear. It's a natural human thing. You know, it's like, it's always going to be around. It's always been around.
Yeah,
you know?
people are fearing, exactly. Anything that's unknown is fucking fearful somehow to people. It's the problem. It's the origins of fucking so many problems in society.
Yeah.
We don't have to get into all of them.
Like,
but
it's like, I mean, that's the whole. Sorry, go ahead.
No, what the fuck was I going to say? No, like the thing about it is, like, to bring it just for a second back to these Romans, right? They had. Like, they didn't have their own fucking thing, so they borrowed from different cultures, and in doing so, they made something new. They did make something new. It wasn't, like, Roman culture wasn't just Greek culture. It was Greek culture with this culture and that culture and that culture put together into it, which made something new.
Yeah, I mean, what
which
we are...
is interesting.
You will be, whether you realize it or not, an amassment of everything that came before you. You know, we still use technologies that were born in Greek times and Roman times, you know?
And that's, like... That's the fearing, like that is where this fear comes from, is that that something doesn't remain how you knew it, meaning pure, right?
Yeah.
You know, like, especially because humans have such a strong sense of nostalgia.
Yeah, sure.
They tend to relate the past with somehow purity. This is.
Jesus Christ.
The nostalgic, the golden ageism, right, has to do with good and the new bad. And when you take, oh man, I'm going all over the place with this one. When you have even the smallest corruption,
sure.
which means it could be the influence from absolutely anything. People tend to rebel against it, but it's my opinion, dude, that there's nothing more fucking holy than just the mixing of cultures.
Yeah,
just like everybody getting together and being like, "Oh, that's cool, I want to try it," and "Oh yeah, that's cool, I want to try it."
Yeah, you know,
it's awesome.
And it's a hard thing to overcome because I've had a lot of people writing me personally lately about like, "Oh, I'm thinking about coming to Germany. Like, you know, how do I do it?" And I'm like, "You just fucking do it, man.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way to make it safe. Like, you can learn the language and you can get your yap or whatever, but like something like Corona is gonna fucking happen, and then what? You know, then you're in a foreign country and you better fucking figure it out. Like you need to fucking tap into your like fear of the unknown and fucking eradicate that shit, and then just fucking do it.
Exactly.
There's 1,000 ways to do it, man. Join a yap, go to school, like get a fest, like just move here, get a fucking job at a bakery, like. Just find your way and do your way.
And I think you just hit upon something on the regarding the why can't I fucking speak today?
We're rusty tromboning over here.
We're rusty trombone. You hit on something with the golden ageism, right?
Yeah.
It's that because it's new, there's fear attached to it, right? Because there's risk. It's dangerous doing something new, even if it's something seemingly inconsequential.
Yeah.
It's something like. Okay, let's say that Maria Callas's changes from Poncel, they're not going to change the world, right? No one's going to starve to death because Maria Callas is singing different than Poncel.
No.
But there is the risk that what you knew and enjoyed won't exist anymore because it's changing.
Yeah.
And that fear, that fear of the danger that you're about to go into is the big thing. But sorry, people, you got to take those training wheels off sometimes and smoke the real cigarettes.
Yeah.
You know, that's...
Let's see how many times we can bring it back to smoking.
You got to upgrade to Marlboro Red and fucking smoke the future, baby.
Smoke the future, baby. Nah, it's just all that shit. All that shit is like people get lazy, you know?
Yeah.
It's like you go to university and then it's like you're like, I'm done growing, you know? And then you're just like, my little world, like I have my little routine, my little bubble I live in. I don't want to ever, because a lot of people, the experience they have is they step out of their bubble once, they get squashed back. They're like, that wasn't cool. And then they stay in the bubble, man.
I kind of feel perhaps like I might be in a bubble, to share some personal stuff. I might be in a bit of a bubble. I have a really comfortable life right now.
Yeah.
I've got my job, my family, my beer, and that's what I could do. But that's probably the exact reason why I should step out and do something fucking dangerous.
Let's go do something weird, man.
Yeah, let's go do something weird. Those mushrooms. I need some mushrooms, babe. And maybe that's the catalyst. The mushroom isn't the dangerous thing.
Yeah.
But the mushrooms are supposed to help you think in new ways.
Mike, we can do this, all right?
We're doing it.
We'll document it. Okay, well, we just need to find a time. We're going to do it.
Is it illegal to document yourself on mushrooms?
I mean, look,
like
not everything's something I've learned recently with like music and videos and copyright and stuff is everything's legal until someone challenges you on it. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And so if you were like a political figure and you did it, like, yeah, it'd probably be fucked up. I don't know if they would prosecute you, but like if you're some opera podcaster and you made a YouTube video of you high on mushrooms, like who's going to take the time to the litigation expenses and all that stuff to actually fucking sue you? The government, the state, like who gives a shit, you know?
If we had a film crew, I would love to do a podcast high on mushrooms to see just to see how it fucking turns out.
We don't need a film crew. We need a spotter and some cameras, and we're good.
Are you kidding? I'm afraid that I'm gonna try to eat one of the fucking cameras.
That's what
something.
the spotter's for, man.
Yeah.
We put a collar on you.
Who you getting as a spotter? Because I have I have farm boy strength, right?
Yeah,
I've got
you do.
Farm boy strength, which means
strength.
that you gotta watch out that that person's big enough and can actually handle.
You're like a wild animal.
Yeah, right.
Let's keep this ball rolling.
You don't want to piss off a cat because a cat. It's small, but it'll fuck you up.
Yeah. I mean, the animals. They got that animals. They're
right.
built for it. We're not built.
No, I'm kind of an animal. I'm
not
kind of like
compared to an animal. Compared to a person, but not compared to an animal.
Right, of course
you know
not.
What I mean? Of course You're still
not.
A fucking monkey.
I saw a great conversation, by the way, about who. Go ahead. The conversation was who would win in a fight, a brown bear or a fucking silverback gorilla.
Yeah.
It was a great conversation. The brown bear would fuck him up. It's not even close. But have you ever fucking seen a hairless chimpanzee?
I'm looking at one right now, man.
No, dude. Fucking those chimps are they're built.
Oh yeah.
So
I have seen that. I've seen that.
Huge.
Yeah, they're jacked, dude. They're
you don't
jacked.
think it, but
No.
they look like a person who spends all day every day in a gym.
Dude, I think we've talked about it before, but like I remember I used to watch Man versus Beast all the time, and they had like one where like an orangutan had to like try to hang longer than a gymnast, and they went for like 10 minutes, which is incredible that like a gymnast could hang from a bar for 10 minutes. Try it sometime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the monkey was just like fucking bored.
Yeah.
It was nothing. That fucker could have hung there literally all day. They're so
They do.
jacked.
Every day.
They do.
That's what they do.
All right. Next message. Small talk. Hey! Just a hey. No,
Nice.
guys. What are your favorite small... Oh, this is some British spelling here. What are your favorite small talk conversation starters?
What was spelled British?
Favorite. Do we have a U in the word favorite in English?
No,
in
we
American
don't.
English? No,
we don't.
So I think it's
we also don't have colors.
colors. Hey, what are your favorite small talk conversation starters? What do you say to get chatting with an audition panel, potential employers, either in a professional or social setting, donors, other singers, orchestra members, fans, etc.? What are some of the worst lines you've used that were either super embarrassing or that completely killed the conversation?
Before I did anything, I went to the accompanist and I said, "Does my hand smell weird?"
Well, you said that
No,
to someone?
of course not.
Mike, you probably would.
Does my hand smell like ass?
Look, this is actually a good thing to talk about because Mike is a very good conversationalist.
Yeah.
And I am when I have to be. And Mike, I think it comes naturally to Mike. And I think I actually have a strategy in place that I employ.
You do? Well, okay. So I don't necessarily have a strategy. Let's hear yours first.
I mean, I used to teach this stuff back in the day.
Nice.
Like socializing in English, you
Nice.
know? And the thing is first off, when someone asks you a question, you know, like the rule is offer extra information.
Okay.
You know, like Mike, ask me where I live.
Where do you live, Jared?
Darmstadt. It's not a good conversation.
No.
Ask me where I live.
Where do you live?
Darmstadt. I've lived here since October. I lived in Frankfurt for 3 years, but I moved here a while ago
Oh, you
when I
lived
started
in
working.
Frankfurt.
Yeah,
I
boom,
know
extra
somebody who
info.
knows that. Boom,
Boom.
boom, we're having a conversation.
Yeah. So always don't give like. Do you have a pet? Yeah, I have a dog. His name's Rex. We got him 3 years ago. He's this breed. He likes to do this. We do this together. Give extra fucking information.
That's really
and
good.
ask fucking questions, okay? And also, if you know that, then you will recognize when you're in a situation with a bad conversationalist. Because that's the other thing is these people on audition panels, these people that own the opera houses, they're usually weird fucking people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes they're personable people, but usually they're fucking weird. And it's not you that's making it weird, it's them. And if you can recognize that, and then you're like, all right, I'm firing off questions. But also some people don't want to talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. I mean, wait, read the question again. Sorry.
They just said, like, what are your favorite small talk starters to talk to, like, employers, professional, social setting
audition
donors,
panels is
other singers,
is a
orchestra
big
members.
It's a different thing entirely to do.
Yeah, you can't be like, weather's fucking hot today.
Yeah, on
eh?
an audition panel, it
becomes a stand-up routine really fast when you're standing on the stage and they're down there.
I've had some auditions that have kind of become that.
Yeah, I know, me too.
Right? And I kind of thrive on stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of thrive on stuff like that. I like it.
Look, it's like a job interview, though. An audition's like a job interview. And I think the problem with a lot of singers is they haven't done enough job interviews.
Yeah.
And
totally.
the thing is like, don't be fake. Like, understand what you're really fucking there for, which is a shot at this job.
Yeah.
And if you've actually, and the problem with singers is we just get into this like audition rut where it's like we do auditions. You show up, you sing, you fuck off. You show up, you sing, you fuck off. But when you're on the train or the bus on the way there, look up a bit of information about the theater, the changes that are going on, and then like, it's just like a job interview. Like, if they've had some changes, like, so how's it been going since you guys switched over, like, switched to the new building, or since you have the new intendant, how's it been going? You're not going to job interview. Those are the questions you ask.
Yeah, that's not bad.
This happened in your city. Has that affected you?
I mean, I don't try to start I mean, I do try to get to down to business. So, okay, we're talking straight auditions right now?
I guess for now, for this moment.
Okay, for this moment, let's talk about auditions.
Yeah.
I don't try to start a conversation at the beginning. I'll do it in between. I'll try to start the conversation in between pieces. But at the beginning, my strategy is more this, and it doesn't work for everybody, but it works for me. Mm-hmm. My strategy is basically to do sex, drugs, and opera feel. Not language, but feel at the beginning of the audition.
Okay.
When I come out.
So you're like,
So
just
they say
it off like that.
They say everybody normally. I mean, you even practice it in university. My name is Michael Pegger. I'm 70 years old. I don't know why. I'm 37 years old. I don't give a fuck. And I would like to start today with blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I don't really do it that way.
Say your age.
No. That's what they told us to do in university. I don't fucking tell them my age. They can read it on the thing. Yeah. I go in and I'm like, okay, so today I've got this piece, this piece, this piece, this piece. I want to start with this piece if that's cool with you guys.
Yeah.
I will literally use that kind of tone, and it breaks up monotony.
Yeah, it's you just got to do a shit ton of auditions. You feel the vibe of the room because some people want you to just be like, I'm number 45.
I'm not doing that, and they can either remember me as a bad thing or remember me as a good thing.
And
but
that's
they
the thing
will
too.
remember me.
And we're going to talk about this on the Secret Sponsor podcast. But that's the thing too is you don't want to fall into this like I'm going to try to be what you want me to be because nobody wants to hire that. And also that's a fucking terrible way to live a life and lead a career. Be who you are and find people who want to hire you. That's how the whole thing fucking works.
Which
you know what I mean?
that is something to remember when you're listening to this. If you're not that kind of person, don't do that.
Yeah, look, I put my hands in my pockets. All right, when I talk to people, I do it, and I'm gonna do it at a fucking audition. You know, because I've had people that tell me before, don't put your hands in your pockets. It's like, why not? I like to be close to the warmth.
That has always pissed me off as a stage direction.
Yeah.
Like,
don't put your hands.
Don't put your hand. Why?
People do it all the time.
Look around.
It looks like people.
Look around.
Queen of England does it. You know.
Queen of England. She puts her hands down her.
So anyway, look. Audition panels is a different thing because you got to be really fast at feeling that vibe. But I always think,
is there somebody when they say hello, do they have a bit of a smile on their face? If so, your door's open.
Yeah, but also it's like the most interesting conversations are genuine things. You know, you can have the superficial conversation. That's extremely easy to do. Yeah. And if you can't have a superficial conversation, start there. That's really fucking easy. Where do you live? Do you like it? What do you do? Who do you work with? How long's that company been around? What do your parents do? What do they? Oh, really? Like you just.
So
it's
we're on
endless.
from auditions now.
Well, what I'm saying is I'm kind of segueing. What I'm saying is superficial conversations are very easy to have.
Yeah.
And if you can't have that, then you need to get faster at asking bullshit questions. It's the same questions every time. Where's that? What do they do? Really? When? Did you like it? But authentic conversation is what people like. And the point I'm making is that whether you're talking to an audition panel, you're talking to a member of the orchestra, or you're talking to a bartender, if you can find the real thing to talk about, there's always a real thing.
The real thing, that's exactly
and an
what
auditionist, they're hiring you to do a role. Yeah. Ask about the fucking role. Ask about the show. You know what I mean? Like that's what we're here for. Don't the elephant in the room. Don't act like you're not there for an audition, you know?
That's true. I like what you said. Ask the real question, not some bullshit question.
Yeah.
Like when I if I'm talking to an orchestra member, right? Oftentimes there's not so much like it's either okay, now we're mingling, so now I'm going to ask you this question and this question.
Yeah.
If I'm approaching somebody, it's like, hey, I heard that solo. That was good.
Yeah.
You did a good job with that. Or is that fucking hard? Is that bit hard?
Yeah, sure, sure.
If you're genuinely interested, that's the one thing that people...
Genuine. Genuine.
If you're genuinely interested in an answer to a question, there's nothing to even think about in difficulty of a conversation.
Yeah.
That means you are engaged in what they have to say. And if you're engaged in what they have to say, oftentimes, unless they're a fucking dickhole, they're going to be interested in what you have to say.
Yeah, and the thing is like, look, you're gonna talk to people who are egotistical and only want to talk to them about themselves. You know what I mean? And so what you need to do is, if you have a problem with that, then actually your ego is also the problem. That's why you're not able to do it.
Good.
But look, sometimes people want to know about you, and you have to be okay with being like, oh, you want to know about me? I'm happy to tell you about myself.
Yeah.
But also, you need to find genuine interest in what other people are talking about. Every single fucking person in the world has something that is interesting to you that you don't know about. And the whole thing about a conversation is, first, you're trying to find that thing. What can I talk about to you that you like talking about that I like hearing about, or vice versa? That's one goal of a conversation. The other goal of a conversation is you're trying to break down these fake fucking social walls that stop us from being normal fucking people. You're a normal person. You grill on the weekends. You're going home and you're fucking your wife. Like, I do the same thing. Why can't we fucking talk like two people who do that shit?
Another one that I'll often do, and it's not even, I don't have plans for the stuff like this, but I'll just think to myself, well, okay, here's a good one. You could take the strategy, if this is difficult for you with new people, take the strategy that pretend like you already know the person well.
Right.
Start the conversation somewhere in the middle, not in the end. Like, you would go up to your friends and say, like, have you noticed how the conductor's hands sweat whenever he conducts, right?
Yeah.
That's something you would say to a friend, but there's nothing stopping you from saying it to a stranger. Most likely they're going to think, that's fucking hilarious that he's bringing it to me now.
Right.
I've never said a word to this guy, and the first words he's saying to me now are, the conductor has sweaty hands.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
Do it as the first one.
Well,
Why
that's
not?
the same thing I'm saying, because all you're trying to do is you're trying to break down the social wall, but you also got to figure out who someone is. And you got to kind of balance that with who you are as a person. Some people are shy. Some people don't talk that much. Some people want to talk a lot, Yeah,
okay, that's a good thing to recognize also, that you're not going to have success every time you go up to somebody. Just like when you're flirting or something, like if you're at the bar, you're not going to succeed every goddamn time.
Yeah, but also think about like when Mike and I are somewhere. Like Mike picked me up at like 9 this morning, and we like went to the store and bought some like donuts and coffee and shit. And it's like, yeah, we talk and we have something to say, but we stand there in silence most of the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's two people who are comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
And that's okay to do with someone at a party you don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you just stand there, you say some shit, but breaking down, like you said, like with like saying real shit, breaking down this fake social barrier. And if you throw out superficial shit, then you're gonna have a superficial conversation, and it's gonna feel superficial.
Yeah.
And people will remember you. Networking will work if you break that down. And so like.
Absolutely.
Thanks to say, like you had something you just said, like hey, what's that? Like, how do you play that? But for me, it's like I'm like, if someone's like, oh, yeah, I took my dog, I'm like, what's your dog's name?
Yeah.
And that's always a thing that always makes people smile, because it's always something fucking silly. They're not like, his name's like John. His name's always like Ruffles, Mittens or some shit.
Right.
And they have to tell you that. They're not going to lie. And it's really humanizing, And so that's one of my favorite things. Whenever someone has a pet, I'm like, what's your pet's name? And they're like, his name's Mittens. And I'm like, how did you name your dog Mittens?
Exactly.
And suddenly they're talking about their wife naming their dog. It's a very intimate thing.
Yeah.
And their face is different and their guard's down. But you're trying to get to that human thing.
And you just hit it on it entirely, I think. Like, that dog is really important to that person.
Yeah.
It's important to exactly 0 other people on this fucking earth.
Yeah, it's not important to me, but like
to them,
yeah.
But if you can make it that it's somehow important to you,
Yeah.
then I mean that requires a bit.
Let's talk about a real thing,
Yeah.
like when you go to a party and you're like, a lot of people here tonight, huh? Yeah, have you tried the crab flambe? Like that's fucking boring. But if you're like, why did you name your dog like Ruff? It's like, oh, because me and my wife like doggy style, and like
we like it rough.
Yeah, okay, all right, we're moving on here.
Wait. The other thing, sorry,
go ahead.
to bring it back to auditions, because this is a really important one. This is one that people struggle with all the time, and this is something I think that everybody has to remember. First off, you want to be memorable. You want to be memorable, and I'm not saying you should go out there doing backflips or something like that, but you should not be afraid to show that you are excited to be there and excited to be auditioning, right? That, if you go out there, like I said, I do much more of a laid-back introduction. Okay, so I've got this today. If you guys want this, then you can have that, right? And I do that because, like, right before I go out for, of course, you got those butterflies you got to go with. But right before I go out onto that audition, I'll oftentimes just look around the fucking stage and be like, man, God damn it, this can be fucking cool. This is cool. The moment you recognize this is cool, I'm excited about this, you can communicate more openly to them. You're going to have a better time during the audition.
The whole paradox about auditioning and performing in general is when you don't fucking need it and you actually don't give a shit about it, then you're the best at it.
Yeah.
And as soon as you're like, I really, really want this, you're going to fucking get in your own head in your own way.
But, you know, you once... You drove. Remember the time that you drove me to an audition?
Yeah.
So I had a performance the one night, and then I had an audition the next morning, and it was like a 6-hour drive or something like that. I didn't want to drive, so Jared, being the lovely
well, I think
man
I drove
he
so
is,
you could like sleep.
Yeah,
that was the plan. Like, I'm gonna
sleep.
sleep.
Just talk the whole time.
Yeah. Just
but anyway,
yell talk.
It did. The audition didn't work out. But Jared was like, Mike, you just sang on that stage.
Yeah, it was a very famous stage, and it's like, how many people get to go on that stage and like even walk on it?
Exactly,
you know?
And that was kind of a thing.
Hear your voice ringing
like,
in them halls.
Oh man, it's true. I sang on that, even if it wasn't a fucking performance. I still got to stand there and sing. You should recognize that every time you step out onto a goddamn stage. It's this is a big place, and I get to let my voice ring for freedom.
And we forget that most people in the world would like to sing. If you lined everyone in the world and you're like, would you like to have this gift of singing? They're like, yeah, I'd like to be able to sing.
Yeah.
Most people would say yes.
Yeah.
And like most people would love to just be able to, even alone with no one there. If you could go to the Met and sing on the stage at the Met and no one heard you, people would want to do it.
Yeah.
So just enjoy that aspect of it. I don't know how we got there, but we
That's
did.
good. Well, because it has to do with your attitude when you're going on stage.
Yeah, don't do that fake shit. And I'm sorry, if you're faking your conversations, you're probably also faking your singing and your performing.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And like it all relates.
And if you know anything about sex, drugs, and opera, the one thing that we push is just don't, like, if you're gonna try to do some art, do real fucking art.
Which means be you.
Which means be you.
If you're loud, if you're weird, if you just fucking be you. Yeah, but that's the next podcast. We're going to talk about the secret sponsor stuff.
Wait.
Okay.
Hey, guys.
The subject on this one is weed and the voice.
Oh, fucking titties.
Back to smoking. Hey, guys. Love the podcast. Bringing it has gotten me through quarantine. Oh, binging it. I'm fucking dumb as shit,
Man,
dude.
you're fucking rusty.
I'm fucking... binging it has gotten me through quarantine. I'm going to be a freshman in college majoring in voice performance in August. I've been talking to a bunch of people from my university online, and a lot of them smoke a lot of weed, man. I've never tried it before, and I'm not sure if I should because I'm scared if it becomes a habit, it would fuck with my voice. Also, do you guys have any advice for being a voice major in general? Well, that last question is kind of huge, so we might just skip that one. But
Run!
Don't pay a lot of money to do it. That's my advice. Don't get $60,000 in debt to fucking learn singing. Weed in the voice, man. Look, I got a couple things I want to say. You want to jump in, Mike?
No, you've got more experience on this than I do.
I got recent experience on this.
All right, give it.
No, look, I can't call anyone out, and I won't do it. But a lot of people are smoking weed in opera.
Definitely.
Okay, because I think you asked somewhere in there, the person that wrote in, like a lot of people, and people at the tippy top. You know,
yeah.
I've shared joints with people that I wish I could name drop, but I won't fucking out people for doing drugs. But people know who they are, you know?
Right.
And also all the way to the bottom. And the thing about smoking cigarettes and smoking weed and all that shit is, first, let's talk about the effect on the voice. Let's talk about that aspect first. Okay. Look, some people can fucking smoke and drink and yell and not sleep, and they sing like gods every single fucking day. Yep. And some people, man, if you hey, you yell once and you don't drink your tea, you can't fucking sing anymore.
Right.
There's different fragilities, is that a word?
Yeah.
In voices.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And you have to find your boundaries.
Yep.
And you should explore it. You should know what you can do. I know what I can do to sing the next day and what I can't do. And I know that because I've gone too far.
Yeah.
You know? And so there's no rule for that. There's no rule how it affects your voice. And if you don't want to smoke it, fucking eat it. All right? Fucking make
if
edibles.
you want to get high, I mean, get some fucking edibles. Do whatever you want. I mean, do whatever you want. Like we said at Sex, Drugs, and Opera, we don't give a fuck about you.
We don't give a fuck about you.
We don't care what you do. No, we do. We care. We care about you, but in the loosest sense of the word. Yeah. And like something like this, Jared's absolutely right. I mean, I used to, and sometimes it changes. I used to be able to fucking drink, and then perform as well as I wanted. Yeah. Like party singing for me wasn't a fucking issue. I could get crunked up and then just blast away. Yeah. Now I don't do it. Now I can't do it.
Yeah, and the thing about smoking pot or smoking cigarettes is a lot of that stuff's cumulative.
Yeah.
You'll be 20, you'll be 22, 24, 25, 26, 28. Like, it doesn't do anything to my voice. But yeah, smoking cigarettes or weed for 5 years versus 15 years is a completely different game. Yeah. And you're going to get mid-30s, and then you're going to be like, it is doing something to my voice. But now you're too far down a road you can't really come back from. Yeah. So you have to understand that how it's affecting you now also doesn't affect you down the road. But look, most people that smoke pot aren't waking and baking. I know some people who are doing that. You know, they wake up, smoke. They have a rehearsal. They come home, they smoke. You know, but most people are like on a Friday taking 2 or 3 hits from a joint. And look, on a Friday, if you can't take 2 hits from a fucking joint and sing the next week, then like your voice is really fucking fragile.
Yeah. Look, I mean, not saying that you should quit or something, but you should probably quit. No. Like you can blow this shit out of proportion. Yeah. Don't destroy your life. Don't get fucked. Don't like fucking throw everything away for weed. But come on, dude. Enjoy yourself. Have some fun. Do whatever the fuck you want.
I remember Wojciechowski back in the day was doing this like pasta and arias thing. You ever see that on YouTube? Like some woman, I can't remember what it is, but she would go to these like famous singers' house. They'd make pasta together and then like talk. Like it's fucking weird. But like I remember she was interviewing him and like he trained as a tenor or something when he was young. And she's like, "Why didn't you become a tenor?" He's like, "Because I like drinking and women."
Yeah,
like that's what he said. I was like, "Yeah, man." It's like there's shit I could sing. I'm a bass baritone. Like, that's what my resume says. But a lot of this Verdi baritone stuff I could do. But, man, the lifestyle that would go along with doing it, I don't want to do that stuff exclusively because I want to balance my life with my singing. I like singing, but I'm not going to sacrifice my life for that. You know what I mean? Look,
absolutely, dude.
If you want to try weed, try weed. I've said it before on the podcast. The thing about weed is it makes you lazy. That's my biggest problem with it. You're not going to get addicted to it. It's not. I've never known anyone who's addicted to it. You're just going to be okay with not doing shit. You're going to be okay with like having a whole Saturday go by and you didn't do shit. That's my biggest problem with weed.
And that is pretty fatal to someone who wants to become an opera singer. Because
opera singing is a lot of hard work.
Yeah, you need thousands of hours of
role learning and shit.
Learning, just singing to get the muscles the way they need to be. You need to do it often. And if you're smoking a lot like that, then maybe you're less motivated or something. That's I think you hit the nail on the fucking head.
That's my biggest problem with it, and that's why I don't do it all the time because I get okay with like.
But every once in a while, it's not going to fuck up your voice. So it's cool.
Do whatever the fuck you want, and like look, like the whole gateway drug conversation stuff like that. Like, look, if you're already thinking about it, like it's whatever. Like, I'm not saying try everything once because like there are some things like oxycodone. Like if you try that once, it's proven to be like super fucking addictive. Yeah. Like huge percentages of people get addicted to that shit. Yeah. But like pot is like legal in most places. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like just it's like it's not any more addictive than alcohol. Like if you're drinking a beer,
I think it's pretty much shown that it's less addictive than alcohol.
Yeah, alcohol is the same thing. Like if you're drinking alcohol, then like you really shouldn't be afraid of pot. And as far as it fucks your voice up. It's not like fucking like yelling and drinking. It all can fuck your voice up. You know what I mean? Find your boundaries yourself.
I mentioned it on the podcast before.
Yeah.
If you're afraid of it somehow fucking your voice up, it might be because pot burns. I don't know if this is true, but this is what I heard. Pot burns hotter than tobacco does.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You can eat it.
You can eat it. You can do it through a bong.
You can do it through a bong, or also there was a singer I was singing with a while back, and he smokes like a fucking chimney, but he also sings a lot, Mm-hmm. And I asked him about it. I was like, man, it always fucks in my voice. I can't sing the next day. He's like, the paper you're using's wrong. He's like, you're using that fucking Marlboro paper, and that shit's gonna fuck you up. I have this paper. It's different. And I smoked one of his cigarettes. And it made a difference,
Wow.
So there are tricks of the trade out there, and you see a lot of singers rolling those cigarettes. And I think it has to do with the paper more than the tobacco. But yeah, man,
that's interesting. That's really interesting.
But beyond the weed thing, it's like, because we have this conversation, we have questions about this all the time. Sometimes it's about, we've had ones about sex, like does sex fuck up your voice? Does drinking fuck up your voice? The thing is, for some, yes, for some, no. And it's like, I had a doctor I was hanging out with back in the day, and I remember she said, like, look, some people smoke their whole lives and they live to be 100.
Yeah.
And some people are the healthiest fuckers and they get cancer. And a lot of it's just genetics. Yeah. And the voice is the same way. Same way. I just see people who they abuse the fuck out of their voice. And they have these 40-year-long careers. And then I see people who have to be really tender with their voice. Yeah. And you got to find out what works for you and doesn't. And you got to find that balance.
You asked about also just the advice for going to school. Or being a voice major. I won't give you advice for being a voice major, but I will give you advice on just going to university for the first time. It's being in high school and with your parents, and then all of a sudden being off on your own in university is one of the biggest transitions that you go through in your fucking life. Do not squander it.
No.
Don't be afraid to do new things. Yeah. Don't be afraid to fucking live. If you're saying I'm going to go there and not live a life because I'm scared of all that shit, that's the biggest mistake you can make, and that's the one you should be afraid of.
Yeah. And I think one of the reasons why a lot of people that I know that are having these huge fucking careers that are still smoking and drinking and stuff is because sometimes the worrying about your voice is more of the problem than actually what you're doing to your voice. Is this like obsession about like, am I gonna fuck it up, man? Like that's honestly more of the problem. And these people that go out there and they're like, what happens, happens. Like there's a balance to all this shit. You know what I mean? But it's the same when I used to play a lot of sports. It's like if you do the superstitious tea drinking, I have to have my this and that and my skinless apples and my fucking nap and my yoga. Like if you need all of that to sing every time. Pavarotti, Corelli, like Domingo, like I remember there was something back in the day, can't remember who it was, but they were like at a signing, they're like, can you sing Nessun Dorma? And they were like, yeah. And then they just fucking sang it. No warm up, nothing. Just singing's natural. Singing's easy.
Just go fucking do it.
All right, we actually gotta stop this, I think. We gotta do some sponsors, Mike.
Okay.
So we got a bunch of new sponsors since we took some time off here. I wrote them down for you. 1, 2,
am I doing
3.
it again? God damn it.
It's your thing. There's 5 names. 5 names.
I see more. Oh, no. Okay.
See them?
Yep.
Okay. Get at it.
First up, sponsors for episode 13, SDAO, Ben Worley. Next up, we got the Jessica Cardigan Corrigan. What do we got here? Mikado? Isn't that one of the fucking Gilbert and Sullivan operas?
I don't know, man.
Mikado Takada!
Get off the mic!
Mikado Takada! Kyle White, we got, and then ENT, Kayotsi? Kayotsi?
I don't know, man. I'd have to see it.
ENT Kayotsi. CAIOZZI.
It got very
Kayotsi?
American and then very Italian there at the end.
Yeah, totally. Ian is the least fucking Italian name ever.
Yeah.
ENT Kayotsi. Just one more time, guns totally clear for you. Ben Worley, Jessica Corrigan, the Cardigan, Mikado Takada, which is fun. That's a fun one to say, Mikado Takada. Mikado Takada. Sponsoring SDAO.
Nice.
Kyle White and Ian Kayotsi. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
New sponsors. Jared, I'm sure, has already sent out your secret sponsor passwords.
Yeah, look, guys.
So you can enjoy that beautiful extra content.
As we wrap things up here, you guys have your new passwords. You can do our login, then you can create your own unique passwords and all that. To our sponsors who are listening, look, there's been some change with Patreon. I've sent you an email. Please update. Please read that email. Please contact us if you have any questions. Patreon's going through some changes in how they handle payments, and from our end, it's super time consuming to deal with. So please let us know how we can help make that easier for you. For those new sponsors Mike read out today, for the 5 of you, look, you now have access to our secret sponsor section, which gives you access to additional podcasts. For every main podcast we release, we always have an additional one. So for today, we did some fan mail stuff, and then we will do a podcast about the idea of being an opera singer, which we kind of touched on a little bit here and there in our conversation here. But yeah, I guess otherwise that's kind of it for today. You got anything else you want to say to the
No,
lovely
I'm
people?
good. I'm good.
Look, so we're back now. We had a little break. We're off of the quarantine schedule, so we're back to bi-weekly every 2 weeks. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. Take care of yourselves.
See you guys.
Bis dann.